William with no pronouns given. William is a theist, wants to speak on the existence of God and the afterlife. So, William, welcome. You're on the air.
Well, hello, how are y'all?
Pretty good.
Tired,
How are y'all?
cranky.
Okay. Look, I'm a Christian. You know, when I was younger, I grew up in the church. When I was 18, I didn't go to prison, and they saved jail on religion. I found God. God found me. And then, my life went to the wayside for many years. And then in 2017, I choked to death. I actually died. Then I remember where I was at. God, he brought back to memory about 10 months ago where what happened to me, because I just forgot. Drug abuse and all that. Anyway, 2.5 years after that, 2019 to 2020, I got hit by a train. And I lived. I flew 30 feet in the air. The train stopped. The police was there. EMTs, everybody. Now, the thing that I can't argue. I can't argue the Bible, because people say, well, I wasn't there when it was wrote. All I know is what it's given. But this is what I do know. God puts eternity in everybody's heart. Now, the person doesn't believe in God.
Yeah.
Because that's fine. Plus, I died, and I saw. I was in the afterlife. I was there. I seen it. Here's something that
William, you said the only thing you know is that God puts something in people's heart, but whether or not you died is irrelevant to that. I'm asking what does God put in somebody's heart, and how do you know that?
He puts eternity in everybody's heart. No, what that means is, he knows. Let's say me and you, all three of us.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean, William. I don't know what you mean by puts eternity in somebody's heart. I don't know what you mean, and I don't know how you know that.
Okay. This is what I mean. Let's say your parents died. God forbid, your parents died. You were on an island. They died at 10 years old. Now you're 80 years old. Years later, now you've been there 70 years by yourself. You haven't talked to a soul. But you know in your heart, this is not the end. Now, here's the thing that I don't understand is, people that are atheists, they'll commit suicide, they're miserable. But the people that are Christian, they don't fear death, because they know they're going to see God.
Okay, not literally nothing.
Yeah,
William, nothing you're saying makes sense, and the things that do make sense aren't true. Theists do commit suicide. Atheists also don't always commit suicide. But I need you to explain what God does with someone's heart and how you know that's true. That's the only thing I care about.
Okay, you there?
Yep.
Yeah, we're here. Go ahead.
There was a loud beep. I didn't know what was going on. Plus
the beep. So William, when you hear a beep, that means we muted you so we can get a question out. So go ahead and answer Matt's question.
Now you're unmuted. Okay. How do I know that? Because ever since I was little, I always knew that there was something other than me. I always knew that. And you know it in your heart. It's like when you know you love somebody, like you love your wife or whatever, you can't
So William, Matt asked you, how do you know that? And you simply said, well, I've known it my entire life. That doesn't answer the question.
Okay. I just know it in my heart. But here's the question I want to ask.
That still doesn't answer the question.
If he just knows it and he's got no explanation, let's just let him ask his question. Go ahead, William. You got a question. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, you said you was a Christian for 20 years, right?
More than that.
Okay, more than that. Okay. You studied to be a preacher and all that. And then something happened, and then you became an atheist. Now, my question to you is, was it because you prayed and God didn't answer your prayer the way you wanted to? So you're like, you know what? There must not be a God there. There must not be, because he don't answer prayers, so he must not exist. So I've been wasting all my time. And then the hate that you have for him is being pushed by that. See, a lot of people pray for things. You know what I mean? Like, let's say a drug addict. Like, I wish I could win the lottery. Then I wouldn't be a drug addict. No, God knows he'll blow his own heart up. So he doesn't answer that prayer. But does that mean God doesn't exist? No. That means God doesn't exist. And then when a child has cancer and they die, and the parents are praying for them, does that mean God doesn't exist? No. That means God is taking that child out of that misery, out of that pain, and bringing that child to him.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, William. Now we may not agree with that. We may
William,
be.
All right, William, I got to put you on mute so we can respond because you're throwing a lot of stuff out there.
so I've literally told my story and given the answer to this dozens, if not 100 times over the last 20 years. And I find it really telling that rather than looking it up or asking me and letting me answer, you decided to construct an entire scenario where is it the case that God didn't answer the prayers the way I wanted to and I got mad at God and left? No, that's not even remotely in the ballpark of anything close to why I'm not a believer anymore. But the fact that you come up with that story and other theists come up with that story, rather than actually engaging with me or listening to the dozens of other times I've answered this question, tells us a lot about you and your belief.
Yeah, before I mute you, I was going to say the same exact thing. So, William, you asked Matt what his experience was. You distilled it down to just something happened, and then he became an atheist, and then you questioned the way he prayed. You questioned his attitude towards God, whether there was anger in there or not. This betrays a motivation, I think, that you're not looking to see exactly how Matt actually deconverted. You're trying to come up with reasons why you should dismiss his deconversion because you want to assign motive or emotions or some type of irrationality or poor motive to it. Um, if I'm wrong about that, feel free to correct me. But that to me, what you're saying there is screaming those motivations. You're unmuted.
No, 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 no. Thank you. No, the reason why I said that is because I know there's a lot of people out there that they sit there and they believe and they believe and they believe and they pray and they pray and they pray. And years go by and the prayer seems to be unanswered. So they're like, I must just be talking to myself. I must be talking to the ceiling. And you're not.
That's a good question.
That, but
That's actually so Matt. I'm sorry. So William, that's actually a great observation. Maybe I was just talking to myself the whole time when I was praying. I was going to ask that question when you were talking about I was going to ask you that question about the near-death experience. I was going to ask you that experience you had when you were choking to death, or you said you choked to death and you actually died. I was going to ask you, how did you determine that what you saw? I was going to ask you, how did you determine what you saw was actually a vision from God and not just some generation of your brain in a high stress situation?
Am I still on? Or?
You're still on. Yeah, you're here.
How I know that? See, it took me a minute to figure. It took me a while to figure this out because, the woman that actually saw me die, I ran into her much later that night, and when she saw me, her face turned completely white. Her eyes got big like she was gonna crack or something. She took off running in a straight line. I don't mean just jogging a few blocks and like.
William, I'm asking you, William, I'm asking you, how did you determine what you experienced in your mind to be one thing or the other? And now you're talking about what somebody else is saying. I'm talking to you. I don't care about what other people around you at the time were saying or doing. I'm talking to you. Let me ask you these questions, William. Have you ever had a dream? Yes or no?
Yeah, I've had dreams.
Okay. Have you ever had a hallucination? Yes or no? Have you ever had a hallucination?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Okay. Have you ever misremembered something? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've experienced dreams, you've experienced dreams, hallucinations, and you've experienced false memories. So when you supposedly died from choking to death and you had an experience, how did you determine that experience was from God and not one of those other three things?
Because when God revealed it to me 10 months ago, it scared me so bad that I cried for hours. And then when I got off the couch, I felt like a part of me.
God revealed something additional to you 10 months ago? William,
I've been in development for 10 months now.
William, was this choking experience 10 months ago? You said this was when you were younger.
So 2017.
Okay, so this other experience 10 months ago is a different experience?
No, okay. 2017, I choked to death. I actually died. Then,
yeah, we went over that.
2019 or 2020, one of the 2 years, I got hit by a train. I flew 30 feet in the air. Now, the train conductor was not only amazed that I
Who
was
measured
alive,
it?
William, I
I
don't
was
care.
alive.
William, I don't care. William, I'm sorry. I don't care about the train conductor or nurses or anything like that. I'm asking you how you made these assessments about what you experience. That is completely you and internal to your own mind. So I'm asking you questions about that. So invoking other people does nothing to help answer that question. All right. So
Okay, okay.
you choked to death in a hospital. All right, and you experienced
No,
something,
no,
and now you said you got
I was,
hit by a train, and then you also experienced something.
I was, I was in the hospital. I was on the ground. I wasn't
Okay, it
nowhere
doesn't
near the
matter.
hospital.
It doesn't matter where you were, William. It doesn't matter where you were. You choked to death. You experienced something. You got hit by a train, and I'm guessing you were going to get to. I experienced something else. The same exact questions that I posed about the choking incident applies, and I'm asking you about the train incident. So you had two. You
Okay?
had two. You had two experiences, and I'm asking you, how did you determine the source of that experience? Because you, by your own admission, you have three sources of natural explanation for experiences like this: dreams, hallucinations, and false memories. You're going for a fourth one, which
Oh,
is the
okay, okay,
supernatural, and that's God. So I'm asking you, how did you
okay,
determine which one of those is the actual reason for the experience?
okay. When I got hit by the train, it stopped. The conductor got his hired hand with a flashlight to get off the train to inspect. They found me. The conductor told him, I think I hit somebody. That guy talked to me. They called the police. The police showed up, from two different cities. Two MT trucks came. I was arguing with them, telling them I wasn't hurt. They were dumbfounded. I didn't want to go to the hospital. Then I left, went down to my wife's house to see things were split up. Her and her mother and stepdad had a police scanner. They heard it on the scanner describing somebody that got hit by a train. My wife knew it was me. There's none of this pretending memories. I'm telling you, look, this is the best way to know that God exists. If you're scared to die,
William,
not because you got
William.
circumstance, not because you're rich. Hold on. If you're scared to die,
All right, William, I'm going to try this one more time, and then if you can't answer the question, we're going to have to move on. So you're bringing lots of other actors into this story, and I'm asking you, how did you make a determination about your own experience, your own mind, and saying that this is a remarkable experience, your wife, all these things you just threw out there, like it doesn't tell us anything about that. This is not evidence for your claim. This is all just noise. So how did you determine that your experiences were of some divine origin rather than just your brain in a traumatized state? Sorry, let me mute you. Unmute you. On a meeting.
somebody.
All right, there we go. Sorry, there was a lag. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Answer my question, please. Go ahead. Answer my question.
So how do I describe? So I need to. So you're asking me. This is the question you're asking me. How do I describe how I know the answer to? I died. I know I was in the afterlife. God let me have a second chance. 200 years later, I get hit by a train, and I didn't die. How do I explain the reason behind both of them things? Is that what you're asking me?
No.
Is that what you're asking me?
No, sir. That's not what I'm asking you.
Okay, so ask
right.
the question again.
All right. Final time, and then we're gonna move on because it's gonna get a little tiresome soon.
Okay.
Let's just focus on the choking incident, because you said you went to heaven in the choking experience, in the choking incident.
No,
How do you know whether?
I didn't go to heaven.
You said that though earlier.
I went. I was. No, I said I died. I didn't say I went to heaven.
Well, you said, I'm pretty sure we could rewind this footage, and you said you went to heaven.
No. Rewind it. Because I said I died and I went to the afterlife. I was in outer darkness.
All right, the afterlife. Okay, William, this is splitting hairs here. You went to the afterlife. How do you know you actually went to the afterlife versus you were just simply hallucinating because your brain was traumatized?
Why would it be traumatized? What caused it to be traumatized? And how would I stop
Because you're
breathing
choking
if I'm
to
being
death.
traumatized?
You're choking to death. Your brain's being deprived of oxygen. That's a traumatic experience for a brain. How did you determine you actually went to the afterlife versus you were just hallucinating because your brain was in a traumatized state from lack of oxygen? Last chance.
My heart.
Okay, that doesn't help us at all.
All
right.
William, we understand that. William,
you explain. Okay.
William, no, hang on, William, you wait. we fully understand that you believe this. We're asking why.
Oh, I'm firmly
And if
with it.
the only thing
Why?
you can offer, and the only thing you can offer as to why you believe it is that you just believe it, then that does us no good. You got to present something that would
Okay.
convince us.
Okay, what I saw and what I've been through scared me so bad, and I couldn't get off
It
my
doesn't
couch. I
matter,
couldn't move it.
William. William, William, if you hallucinated something that scared the crap out of you, that doesn't mean it's real.
Okay, what about the train? I flew 30 feet in the air. I had hundreds of tons
Who
of,
measured
of
who measured the
pressure
30
in my,
feet, and
in
what
my.
difference does it make? I have a friend whose partner was just hit by a train, and she's currently laying in the hospital and is responsive to pain only.
Yeah. Well,
How is that relevant
I
to
had a golf bag.
anything?
Look, I had a golf bag. You know what a golf bag cord is? You put a golf bag on it and you can wheel it across the greens. I had one of them, had a bunch of stuff on it. It got hit, and all the kinetic energy went into the bag, down the handle, and into my rib cage because I was trying to get this thing off the track. When I pulled back on my third yank, you could slide a piece of paper between me and that train. It hit that cart. The kinetic energy went all of it, the whole entire mile-long train. I'm
So
guessing a mile long, could be
what?
longer.
So
Pretty sure.
what?
How you're
So what?
7 pounds
So
of pressure.
what does
7 pounds of
William,
You're muted,
what
William.
does it what does getting hit by the train prove? People have been hit by trains.
this.
You got hit by a train. What does that prove?
Was it proved?
Yes.
So
Am
William,
I-
imagine you're in
Can you
court.
hear-
William, imagine you're in a courtroom trying to convince a jury that what you're saying is true, or rather that the afterlife exists and you were there, and you're giving them this. Imagine what these people would think about what you're saying and how unconvinced they would be.
See, that's the thing. I don't care what people think. I'm just telling
Then
you
why
what
are you
I
calling
told
us?
tell y'all.
Why did you call to
Talk-
present something if you
y'all.
don't have something that would convince us and don't care?
No, it's like this. I'm telling you what happened to me. Y'all can choose to believe it or not. Now, if things happen
We
to y'all,
don't.
you can tell me I can choose to believe it or not. But this is the
I
thing.
don't believe it.
God told
I
me
don't
to
believe
tell
it.
y'all.
Wait,
All right.
Okay,
stop.
well,
Oh.
Hang on. William, did you just say that God told you to tell us this?
yep.
Okay. How did God tell you to tell us this?
Look, it takes 7 pounds of pressure to break a bone in the body, right? Yes or no? 7 pounds.
William, I'm the one that's asking the questions now. I'm the one that's asking the questions now, William. You said God told you to tell us this. How did God tell you to tell us this? What?
He put it in my heart. He laid it on my heart to tell you. I'm sure you know
Okay.
about this, Matt. God has put things on your heart. You was a Christian for a long time. You know the deal. God put it on my heart to say this. Now, how am I asking this here? True or
Okay.
false? Does it take 7 pounds of pressure to break a
I
bone in the body?
don't know, and I'm not here to be quizzed on physiognomy by you. I'm trying to figure out, you're saying God told you to call in and tell us this. And I'm trying to figure out how the hell you know that, and what else can you ask God? Can you ask God questions and have him answer?
Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes when I talk to God, he'll answer. He'll send somebody to me with the answer. He works through people. He just don't like, hey, you down there sitting in the chair, blah 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 blah. It doesn't work that way. Now maybe back in Moses' day he did, but he talked to a pillar of fire. Well, he uses people to talk to people to get through to people. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it works.
What I'm asking you is, can you ask God a question and have him answer it?
He will answer in his time, and if he wants to answer it, he'll send somebody to me with the answer.
How do you know that God wanted you to call the show today and say something? Here's a question. Why would God have you call in and tell us something that is absolutely useless and could never possibly convince us or change our mind? Why would you think that God would do that to you?
I'm just doing what he asked. I need you to do something that I ask. Please please don't be disrespectful. I'm not disrespecting you, but I just want to just a small question.
William, why would God tell you to call in and present something that would absolutely not convince us, would make you look delusional and foolish? Why would God do that to you?
Well, God watches it. He sees it. He sees your show. I just stumbled on your show. That's why I don't know a lot about you. I was watching the Atheist Experience, and then I tried to contact that, and that was off mine, and then I seen the line.
William, why would God? Is God like the old show on MTV, like Punked? Is God just a prankster God? Is he just being a dick? Because I would never tell you to call in and say any of this to anybody, because none of it is convincing. It makes you look foolish, and it can't possibly convince us. So why would God do that to you?
You ever watch American Idol?
Yes.
That's no. Okay. There was a black chick on there that loved singing gospel. She was on a plane with a couple hundred people. The plane crashed, it blew up, killed everybody. Hurt her pretty bad, but she was the only one that lived. The only one. Now, you explain that. That's a miracle. That's not something that comes out of Cracker Jacks at Walmart. That is a bona fide miracle. There's no way evolution can explain that. There's no way the atheists can explain that. That is, she was delivered and protected by God himself.
All right. All right, William, thank you very much for the call. We're going to go ahead and move on. You have a nice evening.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Snow, executive producer for The Line and avid candy eater. Hey, if you'd like to support this channel, you can do so now on Patreon or as a channel member with tiers specific to supporting specific shows and hosts. And it also supports our ability to expand programming going forward. You could also leave a super thanks down below, get a little special highlighted comment, and I'll tell you what, you could hit like and you could hit subscribe. Now, here are some video suggestions so we can fudge that algorithm. Go with one of ours. Forget everyone else on YouTube. I'm begging.